All right, y'all. I'm here in case you were absent. We can go over some relationships, symbiotic relationship notes, or if you need to review, you can always watch this. These are the notes we're going to be going over today, so if you have them, go ahead and get them. We're going to start off with a couple vocabulary terms first, just kind of making sure you understand. We're looking at interactions today in ecosystems. So when we're talking about ecosystems, we're looking at interactions. We're talking about interactions between communities, and hopefully you'll remember that communities is a bunch of different populations living in an area. So for your notes, what you were expected to write was community interactions are interactions among organisms which help shape the ecosystem in which they live. And of course, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video as you need to. All this is saying is that we are looking at relationships between organisms that live by each other. That's really it. For example, and I'm going to make a note of that here, relationships between organisms that live by each other. Y'all already know this. If you think about tigers, or okay, let's say lions and antelope. If you have some lions that live and a mile down the road there are some antelope, you already know how they're going to coexist. Okay, you're going to see a lot of predator prey things happening when the lions are hunting the antelope. You already know these relationships. Speaking of that, over here, over here in competition, you already know what competition is. Whenever animals are fighting over any resource, they are competing for it. Two or more organisms rely on the same environmental resource. And you don't even have to write all that. You already know that's two organisms fighting over a resource. It could be food, water, it could be mates, it could be territory. You already know what competition is when they are competing over resources. Another relationship is predation. You know this as well. One organism captures and feeds on another organism. Predator-prey relationship. In class, we showed some pictures of snakes and mice. Of course, the organism that's doing the killing is the predator, and the organism that's becoming the food is the prey, as a predator-prey relationship. Then we talked about symbiosis, and this is the big one today. It's going to be symbiosis is a relationship between two or more organisms of different species that live in direct contact with one another. And that is symbiosis. We're going to be looking at 3 different types of symbiotic relationships. And if you follow this little line right here, you're going to see first one is parasitism, the second one is commensalism, and the third one is mutualism. So 3 types of symbiotic relationships right here. So we're going to go over here and start with parasitism. You may have heard of a parasite before, but if not, that's totally okay. With parasitism, one organism, let me make this a little smaller. One organism lives on or inside another organism and harms it. It usually does not kill it, but it weakens it. And the example they give you is fleas live on the bodies of mammals. Say like a dog. Say a dog has fleas and it's biting and scratching and chewing at these fleas. Well, once it swallows the fleas, they lay eggs and produce tapeworms that live in the intestines. You may notice these little emojis on top. This smiling emoji means that something is benefiting from this relationship. For parasitism, it's going to be the parasite that benefits. Parasite is going to get some food. That is a good thing for the parasite. It gets something out of it. It benefits. It gets a meal. The host, though, is actually harmed. Okay? These don't mean happy and sad. They mean that one organism benefits from the relationship and one is harmed. Make sure you know that the parasite is the one that benefits. The host is the one that's harmed. Next is something called commensalism. With commensalism, one species benefits while the other species let me rewrite this. Species is neither helped nor harmed. For example, barnacles. Barnacles are going to attach themselves to whales, and as the whales are swimming around and they're attached to the whales, the barnacles are going to get a meal because as the whales are swimming, the barnacles are filtering food out of the water. So the barnacles get food, which is a meal, so that means they're benefiting. And the whales they don't get anything out of it. They're not being helped, but they're not being hurt. They're not harmed. We're going to say unaffected because that's the same thing. So make sure you know it doesn't mean happy. It means one is benefiting and one is not affected. And remember, a benefit is going to be a meal, a ride, some cleaning, something. That animal is getting something good out of that relationship for them. And the last one is mutualism. With mutualism, both species benefit from the relationship. Okay, right here. Both smiling emojis because both of them benefit from this. The example they give you is this bird. This bird, a crocodile will roll up to the shore, open its mouth. I'm not an artist, okay? Just, and this little bird will come up and the bird will get food out of it. So the crocodile pulls up, opens his mouth, the bird comes down, and it starts picking all the old food out of the crocodile's teeth. So he gets a meal out of it. He benefits. Well, what does the crocodile get out of this? He gets a dental visit. That is a dentist bird. He gets a tooth cleaning, a teeth cleaning. Oops, I just want that to put it. Let's just put cleaning. So the bird gets something out of it, and the crocodile gets something out of it. They both benefit. For examples, when it comes to doing these, what they're going to do is they will give you a scenario. You will have to read the scenario and determine what's going on with these relationships. Are they benefiting? Are they being harmed? Or are they, no, I guess you should keep the eyes the same, not affected? That means they're not benefiting, they're not being harmed, they are just not affected at all. They are not bothered. So you need to make sure you understand this is not happy and this is not sad. We are looking for, does the organism benefit? Is the organism harmed? Or is the organism not affected? And if you can remember that part, you'll be able to pick out what kind of relationship it is. We're going to do lots of practice, so make sure y'all know that. See ya.